Greetings! My name's Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. And I just spent the last hour or two jacking off, working out, and reading up on articles about the fundamentals of rationality by Eliezer Yudowski on Less Wrong. Look it up. So it's time to play some Disco Elysium. Alright, we're back in here. Now, pretty sure I've already gone through all this stuff before last time I was here, so let's just speed through this. Let's see if I can actually pull this off this time. I've got a bonus to it. It's almost even. Ah?
Your fingers
yes!
run over the dial pad. 005. That's the dialing code for Revachol. 4952. And a moment of hesitation before entering the final numbers. 993.
So, 005 4952 993. Don't know if that means anything. Huh?
Calling. Still calling. Then.
Video Revachol, 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lemmy. How may I help you?
Huh. Not exactly what I was expecting here. What is this place?
Video Revachol is a 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lemmy.
No, I mean, what is this place to me?
Sir, I don't know. It's a video rental. Maybe you rent videos here.
Do you know me?
No.
Why did I call you?
Maybe you called to extend your rental period? Do you need to extend your rental period?
Maybe, but I don't even know my name.
If you need any further assistance, you can visit us on the corner of Voyager and Main. I can't help you over the phone. Are we done?
He thinks you're pulling a prank on him.
That's fair.
The call is terminated by the other party. You're left with the discomforting sound of the disconnect tone.
Why did I call a video rental place? Why was that the first number that came to mind, or rather came to hand? Huh.
The payphone hangs mutely on the wall. There isn't much more to do here.
What does that place mean to me? Is it the place itself, or maybe is it someone that worked there? I don't know.
Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing here. There is a white rectangle clearly visible on its back.
Or maybe it's just that I rented a lot of film from there. You know, maybe that's just something I did with regularity. There might not be anything really deep to it. I don't know. Ah, and I bet I can open this now. Ha! Ooh, Fawn Ultra Series gloves, +1 half-life. Compared to, what do I have here? +1 interfacing. Well, I've got a lot more interfacing than I do. Let's see. Half-light is 2. Interfacing is also 2. But I'm talking to people, not dealing with machines at the moment. I can probably swap. I'm probably more likely to be able to swap out for interfacing than I am for Half-Light. Half-Light seems like the sort of thing I'd want in the moment, so to speak. Sure, there's a lot of money just laying around here. See? God damn, I've like doubled my money just from walking around here.
Guys like...
Patience. Deep down you have the mental power to keep listening. Not many would, but you do.
Had an arithmetics teacher, Miss Bellows. Her real name was Miss Bellums. She was a real pretty lady, but when she got mad... All the boys liked her, if you know what I mean, mister. We used to sneak in her yard in the dark and peek through the window. One time we saw Miss Bellows with a fellow. Yes, we did, mister.
He looks for signs of disbelief in your eyes. No, you fucking didn't. What?
Them was naked too. That's all I got to say about that.
Very interesting, very interesting. Thank you for telling me the whole thing.
Thank you. Almost forgot. Mr. Everard is in that container over there. I got distracted telling the story, but he's in there.
Okay, then.
Bye now. Oh, hey, mister. And no trouble at all.
Alright. That should be us caught up. Now let's see if we can actually do something with this Mr. Everard. If not, at the very least, we can get out easily. Without needing to load a save. And we'll find some other way. Some way of not sitting on the chair. Of not sitting down in general, actually. I wouldn't accept I wouldn't do that even if he had a lush chair. Although he certainly is a lush, alright.
Before you is a walrus with great effort, a typical power play. Wait for him to speak first. Show him you've got a backbone. The one good eye of this man fills you up without even flickering. The other, his lazy eye, is constantly moving like a goldfish in a tank.
We're already changing the tone of the conversation.
Grotesquely magnified by his +6 glasses. Amblyopia, a childhood condition. For a moment, you don't know where to look. It is unbearably humid in the trailer. Beads of sweat slide down the man's forehead.
Keep staring.
At first, nothing happens. His face wears a wide and self-satisfied smile. Every now and then, he smacks his big lips.
I can do this all day.
Like a general over his maps, he plots his moves. Judging by the way he's licking his chops, it's going to be a good one.
So...
He begins to speak, albeit very slowly, purposefully leaving a pause after his opener.
Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi, how nice that you found a moment to pay a visit to the Debardairs Union. I'm Everard Clare, head of this little operation here. Please, have a seat.
He gestures to a tiny folding chair, opposite to his giant desk.
The folding chair looks like a torture device. Extremely uncomfortable.
You go ahead, detective.
Lieutenant nods at you, then the chair.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
I'd rather stand.
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner, as equals. Take a seat. I insist.
He's trying to throw you off your game with this Dubois nonsense. Don't give him the pleasure.
I don't sit. It's kind of my thing. If I did start sitting around, who knows what would happen. Maybe I'd fall back into that endless void. I'd rather keep active.
Very well, Mr. Dubois. I respect a man with strong convictions.
As he nods, his multiple chins move like ocean waves.
I too have convictions, one of which is that I will not engage with any man who won't face me at eye level.
Then why don't you stand?
Should you find yourself more amenable in the future, I'd gladly resume our conversation. But until then, I'm afraid I must ask you to leave.
He turns back to his typewriter.
Don't give up, but don't leave either. You're going to have this conversation on your terms. You just need to remain headstrong.
Yeah. Yeah! Finally! Remain standing and don't go anywhere.
Everard starts whistling a little worker song. He really is trying to ignore you, or will you out of existence.
Well, ain't gonna happen. And you find yourself, when you find your will at odds with the universe universe wins.
The lieutenant stands right next to you, not showing any signs of impatience or boredom.
Yeah, we can do this all day, if need be. Not that there's much time left in the day, but you know what I mean.
I see you are an extremely stubborn man, Mr. Dubois. That ain't necessarily a bad thing.
Finally, the big man looks you in the eye and speaks. Alright, now we're getting somewhere.
You did it. This might help against whatever comes next.
Quite.
So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today? Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense.
He points to a giant novelty check on his desk. It's absolutely comically huge.
It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
He points at it again.
Hey, that's 25 real. That's good money. Think of all the stuff you could.
You can take that comically large check and shove it up your ass. God damn. Something tells me that accepting bribes is not exactly a good way to start the next chapter of my career as a policeman. Especially if he hasn't stated what he wants from me yet. That's the most dangerous kind of bribe, an open-ended one. Yeah. Keep it. I'm good.
Okay, okay. I respect a man with principles. No handouts, then.
He crosses his arms on his ample midsection and sinks further into his chair.
Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun.
Hang on. Whoever said I lost a gun?
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun, lost gun, lost gun.
I don't know anything about any lost gun, Everett.
The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only 2 words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun. Oh God, why didn't you think of this before? Cops have guns. Where's yours?
This doesn't worry me at all. Who cares if I lost my gun and the love of my life? What? Wait. What do you mean the love of my life? When did that happen? Am I forgetting something?
Fuck love. This is your gun. This is serious.
Oh dear.
You don't need a gun. We can still have fun without the gun.
Yeah.
The fun doesn't need to stop. Have some right now.
Good point, horrific necktie.
Are you all right, Harry? You seem anxious. Don't be. Everything's going to be all right. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right.
Are you trying to imply that you stole it, or had it stolen, or some such? Because it was really sounding that way. Gotta be honest. Don't pack 28%. Gun with a surprise. Oh, right. I forgot. I probably should have contacted the station about this, about the stuff that was missing and such, and that would probably have let me know about the gun beforehand. Completely slipped my mind. Probably because of all that bullshit I had to deal with the goddamn halogen lights not working. Well, fuck it. Let's try.
Who does this guy think
yes!
you are? Ronnie the Rookie? You ain't worried about no lost gun, or unpaid bill, or forgotten name.
Yeah!
You're the bad cop.
Yeah!
You're probably more corrupt.
Yeah! Wait, that's it? That's my point of pride here?
Fuck yes. You're part of the old guard, the ancient guard, the most corrupt, unholy cops in the land. Chill out like the black dragon you are.
Okay then. Yeah, sure. Whatever works. Relax, loosen up, get comfortable.
You cross your legs and yawn. The fat man does the same, sinking deeper into his chair than one would think is physically possible. He seems to be enjoying your little display. Good. Now lean in with some corruption.
Ooh. Listen, Everett, pal, we both know what makes the wheels of the world turn.
That we do, Harry. Let them say what they will about you and me. We're both born fighters.
Nice bit with the chair, by the way. A good way to keep your guests on edge.
Why, thank you. It's always nice when a fellow professional appreciates your work.
That's it. Now kick back and add a final flourish for dignity.
Thanks for your hospitality. Feel free to visit me down at the station anytime.
You strike me as a reasonable man, Harry. I like that in a law man. Let's cut to the chase, shall we? What can Everett Clare do for you?
I think we'd like to ask you a few questions. Don't you think so, Detective?
Lieutenant looks quite fed up with this situation.
Questions will show him who's boss. Whatever you do, don't ask him about the gun first. You don't want him thinking you're scared.
Indeed. So yeah, we managed to worm our way out of that one. Very nice. Let's see. Let's see. Aren't you gonna ask me how I got in?
Honestly, I didn't want to bring it up, Harry. I heard you have become Measurehead's race pupil.
Let's see. I really believe in the race mystery, and I'm glad I was given this chance. I hope to one day be able to contribute. I'm not a race pupil, I just listened to some of the things he had to say. It was a tactic. I needed to get in somehow. It's not like I'm a racist now.
Of course, Harry, of course. You're not some kind of a fantastic racist now. And rest assured, no one's gonna hear about it.
He winks at you.
No one's gonna know what you did with race there, Harry. Your race bonanza is safe with me. Word of how racy it got will never leave Martinez.
What? Are you... Okay then. Are you gonna talk about... You're gonna spread rumors about me fucking Measurehead now? That's not how I thought this conversation was gonna go.
Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it.
Alright, hang on.
Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate.
Ah, great. Wouldn't want to get stuck here.
Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white union man. Take care, Harry.
Alright. Whew. Alright, now.
Mr. Dubois.
Oh, I bet he's still fuming internally due to your no-sitting escapades. He doesn't like to lose a battle of will.
Who does? Let's see, I want to talk about the hanging.
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to discuss it with you.
But...
I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me. But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that.
Indeed.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines. Incredibly talented at opening doors.
Kim, is that true? Are we door-opening machines?
I'm not sure I understand. If you're asking us to break down someone's door, it's not going to happen.
Come now. I just need you to go open a little door for me and leave it unlocked. A simple thing. Absolutely nothing shady about it.
Right.
The stars aligned into a cosmic frown here. He has your fate decided. Bide your time, however, and let the stars continue their course, and that frown shall turn into a smile. Only if you play along.
Huh. Why don't you just open it yourself?
Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique you do. You look like you could run around all day.
Yeah, the extraordinary physique that puts me just slightly above a 12-year-old.
You want to send someone a message that the police are working for you.
Indeed.
I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore I must occasionally enlist outside help. So what will it be, Harry?
Whose door is it?
Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about.
What do you mean by a weasel?
A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly.
He removes his glasses and rubs his nose.
Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you.
He puts his glasses back on. I bet you don't even know anything about the hanging.
Harry, my dear friend, I am what people call a local bigwig. I know everything that goes on in Martinez.
A big wig. Considering your hairline, that's a tad ironic. Inland Empire says I should play along. For now, at least. So, alright. Damn it, fine, I'll look into it. We need to talk about that murder.
Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship to the next level.
Ew.
You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker, too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. One last thing, Harry.
Hardened socialist, huh? Sounds like a pleasant fellow.
Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door.
Ah. I see. What's going on here? What's in the container that's outside your office?
My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbor. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them.
There's something special about it. It was attached to the Kavolsund crane.
Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you.
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing it.
I did try. It failed miserably. But to be fair, it could have worked, apparently. Or at the very least something would have happened. That's it. You call me Mr. Dubois. Why? Probably because that's my name. Or maybe
See you
something like
soon.
that. Alright,
Mr.
let's
Dubois.
ask.
Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Everard, I call you Harry.
So that's really my name?
My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? What are the odds of that?
One, evidently.
I think the odds of that are very low.
Perhaps.
It might be a good idea to hide your confusion. I mean, see what his game is first.
Naturally. My memory is fine. I'm just testing you.
So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently my sources were wrong. However, if you did have a spot of memory trouble, I could help you out. With my big fat folder.
Hey, look, I'm not interested, man. I don't swing that way. And I'm not talking about guys in general. I'm talking about your way specifically.
Words flow like a river of honey from his lips.
Indeed.
I guess word has already reached him. No matter. No harm done.
Well,
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
the lieutenant inspects Everard over his spectacles. Why, that is a very interesting admission there.
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now.
Asking too many questions will make you look weak. You should maybe focus on the folder.
Yeah, good idea, Volition.
Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. Shows you're on the edge. Do some probing first.
That's a good point too. Don't ask too many questions, but ask maybe one or two before. Let's see, but what should I ask? Have another look at that folder. What's this? Let's see, first let's see, well, obviously it's Harry Dubois, or something like that. Do you know anything about my family? Do I have a wife or kids, or...
Family? Harry, you're not a family man. There's not one peep of family in here. Unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man, Harry?
Never mind the family.
Family, Harry, is the most important thing in the world.
Huh. Interesting. Let's have another look at that folder.
As you look at the folder, Everard covers it with his hand and pets it. He's hiding it from you because it's not a real RCM folder. It's just another one of those brown folders you saw in the file cabinet.
That's not an RCM folder.
Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the Census Bureau, not the RCM. Those Census Bureau people are absolutely corrupt. You should do something about them.
He got the name from the Census Bureau, and everything else from your actions here in Martinez.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Kitsuragi from the Census Bureau. Like I said, now I'm actually a very busy man. So is there anything else I can do for you, Harry?
That means he doesn't really know anything about you.
Good.
A
Excellent.
pity. The mystery of you will have to remain a mystery for the time being.
I'm happy with it remaining a mystery for a bit longer if it means it remains a mystery to him. So the Census Bureau says my name is Harry Dubois.
Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay? Let's move on.
Alright. Interesting
Mr.
stuff.
Dubois.
Let's talk about my lost gun.
Yes, your lost gun. My
Allegedly.
best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. It's just a matter of time and effort.
Effort, huh?
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Indeed. That is the vibe I'm getting off of this guy. Obviously. Hold on. Could he really hold my gun hostage?
Who knows? Only one thing is certain. If you work with him, you're going to get it back. And working with him might be the only way to do it.
Indeed. I will not be blackmailed with this gun business.
Harry! I was only trying to be tactful. A lost gun is a dangerous thing. I can't have it around in my neighborhood. Kids could be playing gun roulette with it as we speak. Teenage gangs could be arming themselves. Get a hold of yourself, Harry.
I assure you, we are working on locating the missing sidearm as well.
The lieutenant is concerned about the lost gun and feels that the fact you haven't prioritized looking for it is unfortunate, if inevitable, and doesn't put the RCM in a good light.
Excellent, Mr. Kitsuragi. That's excellent news. Looks like we have a friendly gun-finding competition on our hands.
My favorite kind of competition. Alright, we leveled up. Means we can get another one of these. And finally start working on the Wasteland of Reality. There we go.
Mr. Dubois,
I'm looking into your shady brew.
I don't know what that means, Harry. Shady brew? There are so many moving parts in my operation, I can't keep track of them all.
Yeah, there's so many different things that could be referred to as shady brew. I couldn't possibly tell you which one.
You know what? Don't even tell me. Whatever it is, do it. Surprise me. Just one thing. If you can, make it even shadier.
Alright.
He sincerely has no idea what you were talking about, and he doesn't care either.
Alright then. Alright, that went a lot better than last time. Okay then. Got any thoughts about that?
Yes.
No. What about you?
Oh, hey, mister. I knew no trouble at all, mister.
Nah. Not that I can tell. You said you'd have more information for me after I talked to the union guy?
So, how'd you like our harbor?
You've been in there, he means. Talked to the boss man too, probably.
Was nice enough.
It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains.
He notes solemnly, then turns to you, a wide smile adorning his face. What does that even mean?
Right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk.
Everett said you have a key to a door?
A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open?
Let's see. I was hoping you could tell me.
Of course, I got you. You don't know anything. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say.
I'm not really doing this for political reasons.
Oh, so the none of the above type, are you? I get it. I like to keep my distance too. But it doesn't matter. It's a good thing you're doing. Thanks.
I'd be more convinced of that if I knew what the fuck I was doing.
What you're looking
all
for
right.
is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the whirling in rags. That's all I know. Our organization is what you call compartmentalized. Means we keep out of each other's business.
Okay, but where did you get the key from?
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things that really, truly matter.
His gaze wandered off into the distance. That vaguely sounds like you threatened him.
None of this mess with me. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? To feed our children, I guess.
Anything else I should know about this task? This weasel person? When he'll be home?
I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are, what we are fighting for.
The man takes a big sip from his flask. So what are you fighting for then? You mentioned that you implied that you would tell me more about that once I talk to the union guy.
He means he's not going to tell you, cause he doesn't know. But he will shoot his mouth off with you now that you're working for Everard. Who he is, and what they're fighting for. This is interesting.
Indeed. Why are you striking?
We're negotiating our share.
Your share?
Aye.
Wait, so not wages or pensions or...
This stuff. They already covered.
However much you feed the wolf. Ah. This is seeming eerily familiar to me. It brings back memories of a certain other time when I had to deal with the Union in a very different place. When I was going above and beyond to support the workers, give them all sorts of benefits, and then the Union decided to strike anyways, because I wasn't giving them the entire pie, so to speak. This is seeming eerily familiar. No, at least you got the benefits, that's something.
It's not enough. Not enough to get ahead. More about keeping us in our place.
Indeed, nothing ever will be. How large a share would you like?
All of it.
There you have it.
However, right now we want all the harbor workers to be on the company's board, so they could take part in the decision-making process.
Yeah. It'll never be enough until they have everything. Company boards, they could take part, all the harbor workers on the company's board. They could take part in the decision-making process. An interesting idea.
This seditious talk sounds like communism. Just so we're on the same page, communism is basically wanting to kill the rich people or deporting them to a labor camp in southeast Grad. But don't say that out loud if you're a communist.
Well, that's a bit of... that's not quite accurate. It's not just the rich people they want to kill or deport. It's a lot more than that. Let's see, are you a communist?
No. I don't think I'm a communist. Seeing something of value and saying I want it all to myself is a much older and simpler notion. No science to it at all.
True, I suppose. That is a very old and simple notion.
Even a weak child can think it. The only things holding someone back are I can't and I shouldn't.
Well, I appreciate you speaking a lot plainer than most would. You don't bother appealing to ideology or morality or anything like that. No, it's just see something that someone else has and you think, I want that. And so you try and take it. It's almost elegant in its brutal simplicity. And therein lies the true banality of evil. Yeah, cool. I don't have anything to add to that. I don't even know where to fucking begin correcting this abject lack of a moral compass. So I'm not even gonna try. I'm a detective, not an ethicist.
A none of the above kind of man. No harm in being that.
Sure. The boss man, Everard. What can you tell me about him?
I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've met him. In my eyes, he is a capable organizer and a decent businessman.
What does bossing the Union entail, anyway?
I guess you kind of get to be the village chief. He oversees the harbor, makes deals with the owners or other relevant parties, watches out for his own.
By that, you mean corruption?
By heavens, why would he not be corrupt? We live in a harsh and disordered world, see? And in this world...
Yeah, rhetoric, always more rhetoric. All sorts of... I won't even call it excuses, because they don't excuse anything.
The old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. Appreciate it even. He is, personally...
And that's what it all comes down to, isn't it? You have no real moral backing, or ethical constraints, or even a fucking ideology. No, it's just purely, I want it all. Everything that I see that is valuable, I want. Anyone that gets in the way of me getting what I want is evil, and anyone who helps me is good. And to think, you look down on the scabs. You're an infinitely lower order of creature.
He is reasonably lavish, sure. That's his prerogative. It's not like you want a saintly demeanor on a corrupt motherfucker. That would be a manipulative illusion.
Oh, and of course, you're all about not having any manipulative illusions at all.
Besides, there are no non-corrupt systems in the world anyway. And moralism is the most corrupt of them all.
Sure, of course, the usual, oh, sure, we may be bad, but everyone else is just as bad. Heard that a million times.
Not you would like to say. But then there's that weasel door.
Well, we'll see about that.
This man has political theory, and it has not failed him today.
Political theory? The fuck you talking about, Rhetoric? That's not political theory, that's just naked self-interest combined with a anemic smokescreen of, oh, everyone else is just as ugly as I am. Fuck you talking about, Rhetoric.
Sure, I've had the necessary free time. Fortunately, there's always time.
The look in his brown eyes conjures up an understanding. For him, having command of his time is the most important thing. It all comes together now. The way he speaks about scabs, his general attitude. He's a follower of a 500-year-old Franco-Nigerian Boyadero code, itself an appropriation of Vespertine cool.
I know some of those words.
That of a noble peasant or a traveling herdsman. True to yourself, independent in your actions, loyal to your friends.
Huh. It doesn't sound that cool. Sounds antiquated, obsolete, passé. It's not disco.
The man sits on the railing, his hands reaching far and wide. Yet it feels as if he could, effortlessly, go even wider, if need be. An endless torrent of time.
I'll bet. How banal. As wide as an ocean, as deep as a puddle. Any idea who killed the hanged man?
The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing?
Alright.
The man whispers a jaunty.
Alright then.
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate, political opinions somewhere in Martinez.
Dear God! What kind of... Who is this deranged madman who's having reasonable, well-thought-out opinions on morality and politics, rather than simply adopting an ideology wholesale and twisting everything around you to fit it? Or simply twisting everything around you to suit your own imagined self-interest? That's me, Mr. Reasonable. Someone's gotta keep it sane around here.
The air suddenly feels calmer, more transparent in a strangely tender way. Perhaps it's the hangover. Perhaps it's a temporary surge of serotonin. But something tells you, it's time to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Conscience.
Oh, first, where is this Kingdom of Conscience? Well, in my head, I suppose.
It is not a place. It is a moment in time that can only arise in the right circumstances. In all of human history, it's only been achieved a handful of times.
How do you bring about those circumstances?
Incrementally.
I like that one. Now that's a nice word.
History's
Exquisite.
greatest catastrophes have been brought about by people trying to make the world a better place. Too quickly.
No. I'm going to stop you right there. That is a far too simplistic way of categorizing these things for it to even possibly be true. I mean, the obvious response to that is, well, a lot of history's greatest catastrophes were natural disasters. Those obviously weren't brought about by people trying to make the world a better place too quickly. Unless humans induced a natural disaster. But then that's not exactly a natural disaster anymore. But leaving aside that, still no. There are a lot of reasons behind history's greatest catastrophes, many of which we will never know. Some of those probably were people trying to make the world a better place too quickly. Almost certainly, yes. But there was also well, people like Tommy Manana, who simply are who aren't trying to make the world a better place, really. It's just a fuck you, I want mine sort of thing. They don't care if the world's a worse place as long as they're better off. Although I guess you could say that's them making the world a better place for them. But then anything could be argued as making the world a better place. So it's either too simplistic to be useful, it's either too simplistic to be true, or too vague to be useful. So no, I reject this framing. This is just repeating the mistakes that all those ideologies are. Of believing that you can boil down all of this complicated shit into something simple and easily digestible, and with a simple solution. And then holding on to that simplified view of the world, even when the world is contrary to it. That is the failure of ideology. The fact that it requires, that it demands that everything be twisted around it, be bent around it, twisted to serve it, that reality must be twisted to serve the ideology, rather than the other way around. And that is why we cannot allow ourselves to become captured by an ideology. Yes, utopianism is a negative force on the world. An abjectly negative force on the world. But this is just more utopianism. So, no. I refuse to allow my worldview to be colored by this lens.
That's the genius of Dolores Day. She recognized that progress is meaningless if its gains are lost because of instability. Real, lasting change can only come about gradually, increment by increment. Tisk tisk. Just because you live in the present doesn't mean you have the right to place your needs above the needs of the future. You may never live to see the kingdom of conscience. Your children may not. Even your grandchildren might not. But that's no excuse not to keep working. What rationality? What benevolence? Do you believe the status quo is preferable to chaos and bloodshed? There you have it. Sometimes holding the line is progress. The kingdom is difficult to comprehend, and even more difficult to describe. Partly because humanity will need to discard many of the categories that define and limit it today. The kingdom of conscience is post-capitalist, post-national. It's also post-industrial, post-ideological, and even post-sexual.
Whatever the fuck any of that means. I'm not fond of this whole binary opt-in, opt-out stuff. Like, is this going to lock me into a certain ideology or something? That doesn't seem particularly healthy, especially not for a rather deranged amnesiac cop. I don't know. I think I'm better off not subscribing to this kingdom of conscience. It just feels like its own brand of utopian nonsense. It doesn't surprise me in the slightest that old Harry here is easily captured by these sorts of ideologies, that he has a sort of mind that would be easily preyed upon by them, which is, obviously, all the more reason to avoid subscribing to any of these ideologies like the plague. No, I think I'm going to have to opt out of this and everything else. That is what it means to be a rational, reasonable person. Not simply finding an ideology to subscribe to that makes you feel rational and reasonable, but rather not blindly subscribing to any ideology, searching for the truth instead. So, yeah, I don't think I want to be a moralist.
What you want is immaterial. The kingdom of conscience is coming, whether you like it or not. Only very slowly.
Alright then. Sure. I'll bet. Alright then. That looks off. Whatever. Probably shouldn't scroll that far out. Alright then, so yeah, that's my decision. I'm going to tell all of these restrictive ideologies to bugger off. Whether it's communist, fascist, ultra-liberal, moralist. And you know what? These two. Superstar cop, apocalypse cop, sorry cop, boring cop. Fuck all of those. They can all go to hell. I am, well, Harry Dubois. I am not some ideology. I'm not searching for some comforting ideology to subscribe to. I am searching for the truth. Because I am not a communist. I am not a fascist. I am not an ultra-liberal. I am not a moralist. I am a detective. A rationalist. A searcher of what really happened, not what I want to have happened. That is who I am. Gold and orange and smelling faintly of alcohol. That is who I am. So, without any further ado, I have been Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. And remember, dislike the video, unsubscribe if you're for some reason subscribed, and leave a nasty comment in the comment section down below. Fuck you all so much for watching, and so long, suckers.
You're gonna be okay, kid.